The original Planet of the Apes series ended with 1973's Battle for the Planet of the Apes, but ended the ape leader Caesar's arc on such a note that both critics and audiences heavily panned it for the years to come. Caesar got a much better received reinterpretation in the 21st century, starting with Rise of the Planet of the Apes, a reboot that kicked off 2 successful sequels. But ever since War for the Planet of the Apes completed Caesar's arc in the reboot trilogy, the upcoming 2024 sci-fi action drama Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes can still respect Caesar's legacy better than the polarizing 1973 flop. The ending of War for the Planet of the Apes was simultaneously tragic and hopeful as a wounded Caesar readies himself for his impending death while also leading his fellow apes to an oasis. Set years after the 2017 movie, the 4th installment in the reboot series will cover the aftermath of the apes that settled in this haven, along with the eventual chaos that brews within them. Even though Andy Serkis will not be returning to reprise his role as Caesar, the iconic character's shadow still looms large. This will definitely offer long-term franchise fans some relief as they will be able to move on beyond the controversial conclusion of the original series. The mantle of the protagonist passes from Caesar to his chimpanzee son Cornelius in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Based on the story known about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, the movie's dystopian reality finds most of humanity being wiped out with the simian flu, while the late Caesar's teachings continued inspiring the ape society in the oasis years after his death. Some new ape clans twisted his ideals by enslaving other apes and humans. The ensuing ideological clash shows how Caesar's absence demands a new leader to walk in his footsteps. The stage is set for Cornelius to lead a new reign. The heavily panned Battle for the Planet of the Apes found Caesar heralding a new society where humans and apes are equals, storing all their weapons in an armory. The timeline then suddenly shifts to 6 centuries after Caesar's death, with a human-ape society still yearning for a day when those armories' weapons will not be required. The camera then zooms in on Caesar's statue as a tear falls out of one eye. At the time of its release, both critics and audiences heavily criticized the scene with the statue, more so given that this would go down as the original Planet of the Apes franchise's final frame. Even the movie's screenwriters, John and Joyce Corrington, aka the Corrington Brothers, didn't approve of the final ending, planning to end the movie on a cynical note with human and ape children fighting in a playground. But the movie's story writer Paul Dehn planned on sticking to Caesar's teary-eyed statue. Joe Russo's book Planet of the Apes Revisited adds that Joyce Corrington turned his stomach when he saw the studio-approved ending. The single tear might seem poetically tragic, but the consensus has mostly been negative toward the time jump and statue scene. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes will hopefully undo the original's unjustly caricaturish send-off.